Let's begin with a thought-provoking truth. What if the very thing standing between you and everything you've ever wanted is how tightly you're holding on to it? Have you ever chased a goal so fiercely, poured your heart and soul into it, only to feel it drift further away the harder you tried? You're not alone, and you're not doing it wrong, but perhaps you're doing it with too much force, and that's exactly what the ancient philosophers tried to warn us about. Welcome back, seekers of wisdom today. We're unlocking a concept that could completely shift the way you approach your goals, your dreams, and even your everyday challenges. It's a paradox so simple and yet so profound. It has the power to reshape your life from the inside out. We're talking about the Stoic secret of detachment. While modern culture tells us to hustle harder, focus more, and never take our foot off the gas, the Stoics, those ancient sages of peace and power, offered something very different. A timeless reminder that sometimes the way to attract what you truly desire is to let it go. The butterfly metaphor, a gentle reminder. Picture this. A child in a sunlit meadow spots a beautiful butterfly. Enchanted, they rush after it, arms flailing, feet stomping, chasing with all their might. But the harder they chase, the further the butterfly drifts. Frustrated, the child finally stops. They sit down, take a breath, and begin to enjoy the moment, the breeze, the warmth, the stillness. And just then, the butterfly gently lands on their shoulder. That image is more than just poetic. It's a metaphor for life. The Stoics like Epictetus and Seneca believe that when we obsessively cling to our desires, when we chase and grasp and force outcomes, we generate resistance. That tight grip can actually push what we want further away. But when we release the need to control every result, when we do our part and then allow the universe, fate, or nature to do theirs, something remarkable happens. What once seemed distant begins to come to us. What detachment is not now, don't get the wrong idea. Detachment doesn't mean giving up. It's not apathy. It's not about abandoning your ambitions, dreams, or values. Detachment is not the absence of desire. It's the absence of obsession. It's not about doing nothing. It's about doing your best and letting go of what's beyond your control. It's about trading anxiety for trust and control for clarity. Imagine being fully committed to your dream, working hard, showing up every day, without letting the outcome define your worth or steal your peace. That's the sweet spot. That's the Stoic way. The modern trap of control. In our modern age, we're constantly told, manifest it, visualize it, grind harder, make it happen. And while intention and effort matter, control is an illusion. You can't force the rain to fall, but you can plant the seeds and prepare the soil. You can't demand love, but you can become more loving. You can't dictate success, but you can live with excellence, purpose, and grace. The Stoics didn't wait passively for life to reward them. They acted, but without attachment. They cared, but without clinging. And that's why their lives were marked by a deep, unshakable peace, even in the face of loss, chaos, and uncertainty. Let's now dive into the first lesson in our Stoic guide to attracting good things. Do your best and detach. It sounds simple, but living it, that's where the real work begins. This principle isn't about laziness or resignation. On the contrary, it calls for intense focus and wholehearted action. But once the action is taken, once you've done your part, the Stoic path invites you to release your grip on the result. Think of it as a graceful dance between effort and surrender. You show up, you give your all, and then you let go. Why? Because you understand that you control the input, not the outcome. Closing this chapter, opening your mind. By embracing this way of thinking, you open yourself to something radical: freedom. Freedom from stress, freedom from constant worry, freedom from trying to manipulate life into giving you what you think you need, because now you trust that what is meant for you will come. So buckle up, because in the next segment, we're diving deeper into how the Stoics practice detachment in daily life, and how you can too. If this message resonates, hit the like button, subscribe for more timeless wisdom, and drop a comment below with "keep it up" to let us know you're walking this path with us. Let's continue the journey together. The Stoic balancing act: effort versus attachment. The Stoics weren't passive philosophers sitting under olive trees waiting for fate to sort their lives out. Far from it. They believed in action, deliberate, focused, and full-hearted. Whether it was leading armies, writing timeless texts, or facing injustice, the Stoics gave their all. But here's the twist: they acted without clinging to the results. This is where their real power lies, in walking the razor-thin line between giving everything you have and being at peace with whatever comes next. They understood a truth that still eludes most of us today. You can control your effort, but not the outcome. Epictetus and the wisdom of listening. One of the great Stoic minds, Epictetus, offered a metaphor that speaks volumes, not just about communication, but about life itself. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. This principle applies not only to conversations, but also to how we engage with life. We must learn to listen to the universe, to observe its patterns, signs, and subtle whispers, rather than constantly forcing our own will upon it. Just as we don't dominate every conversation, we shouldn't try to dominate every outcome. Instead of pushing and obsessing, pause, breathe, act with intention, then listen for what life echoes back. Real-world detachment, from job interviews to creative pursuits. Let's ground this concept with a familiar example. Imagine you've just applied for your dream job. You updated your resume, rehearsed for days, nailed the interview, and sent the perfect thank you email. Now what? This is where most people spiral, checking emails every hour, overanalyzing their answers, worrying endlessly about whether they'll get the offer. But here's the truth. That level of attachment breeds anxiety, not results. Now picture the Stoic way. You do your best, you prepare, you show up fully and professionally, then you let go. You trust that the right opportunity, whether it's this job or the next, will arrive in its own time. You shift your focus from waiting to growing. This mindset doesn't just apply to careers. It's the same with creative projects, relationships, and personal goals. You pour your heart into the work, you give it life, then you release it. You don't grip the outcome with white knuckles. You let the universe do what it does best: surprise you. The power of surrender, opening the door to the unexpected. Here's the beautiful irony. When you stop needing things to happen your way, more things start happening for you. By letting go of narrow expectations, you allow life to flow in unexpected and often better directions. New paths appear, fresh ideas emerge, people show up in ways you never could have predicted. It's like opening a window during a storm. The wind doesn't always blow the way you want, but it brings fresh air, clarity, and movement. Michael A. Singer, author of The Untethered Soul, said it best: "The moment you stop trying to control everything, you can finally appreciate everything." When we surrender to the flow of life, not in weakness, but in trust, we tap into a deeper state of peace, joy, and contentment, the kind the Stoics knew so well. Building your detachment muscle, how to start letting go. So how do you actually practice detachment in everyday life? How do you live this Stoic wisdom when the world feels so uncertain? In the next section, we'll dive into. You'll learn how to develop your detachment muscle, how to respond with grace instead of control, and how to move through life with more flow, clarity, and confidence. Stick around, because this is where philosophy becomes practice, and practice becomes transformation. Tips for building detachment: turning wisdom into action. Letting go sounds poetic, but how do you actually live it when you're in the middle of a job search, a breakup, or a life crossroads? Here are a few practical, Stoic-inspired strategies that can help you build your detachment muscle and start manifesting a life filled with more flow, joy, and fulfillment. 1. Focus on the process, not just the end goal. It's easy to become fixated on the destination, the promotion, the relationship, the financial milestone. But the Stoics remind us that the true magic lies in the journey. So instead of obsessing over results, bring your full attention to each step along the way. Whether you're writing, training, studying, or building, let yourself fall in love with the process. Ask yourself, am I showing up with excellence right now? If the answer is yes, then you're already winning. 2. Practice acceptance. Here's a truth many resist. Some things are simply outside your control. You can't force someone to love you. You can't manipulate the timing of opportunities. You can't bend life to your exact expectations. And that's okay. Acceptance doesn't mean weakness, it means clarity. When you stop fighting reality and start flowing with it, peace becomes your natural state. You begin to respond instead of react. 3. Trust the universe. We live in a world that glorifies control. But what if the greatest power lies in trust? Trust that even if things aren't unfolding the way you planned, they might be unfolding the way you need. That missed opportunity, it could be redirecting you. That delay, it could be protecting you. When you replace control with trust, anxiety fades, and life starts to feel like it's working with you, not against you. 4. Cultivate gratitude. Gratitude shifts everything. When you're constantly focused on what's missing, you send out a signal of lack. But when you start appreciating what you already have, even the small ordinary moments, you align yourself with abundance. The Stoics practiced this deeply. They didn't wait for everything to be perfect. They gave thanks for breath, for thought, for one more day of life. And from that space, they found strength. Gratitude grounds you. It pulls you back from fear and brings you back to now, where life is actually happening. 5. Surrender to the flow. This is the heart of detachment. Let go of the need to force every outcome, to control every variable, to have all the answers. Instead, let life surprise you. Open yourself to the possibility that what's coming is better than what you imagine. Let your role be effort and presence, and allow the rest to unfold with grace. As you surrender, you align with something greater than personal will, the rhythm of life itself. Detachment is not apathy, it's empowered action without attachment. It's important to be clear, detachment is not apathy. It doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you care deeply, but from a place of freedom, not fear. You still take bold action. You still set intentions. You still show up and give your all. But you release the desperation. You no longer cling to outcomes for your sense of worth. By practicing detachment, you create a life that's not only more fulfilling, but also more effort. Let go, trust, and watch the magic unfold. So here's your Stoic challenge for today. Let go of the need to control. Trust in the timing of your life. Do your best, then let the universe do its part. When you master the art of detachment, you don't just chase your desires. You attract them, naturally, effortlessly, and often in the most magical, unexpected ways. Lesson 2. Attract what you want. The Stoic Law of Attraction. All right, my fellow manifestors, let's dive into a concept that blends ancient wisdom with modern insight. How to attract what you want by aligning your energy, emotions, and mindset with your vision. This isn't about wishful thinking or daydreaming. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts the life they seek. Stay tuned, because in the next section, we'll unpack the Stoic version of the law of attraction and how living in harmony with nature can magnetize the very things you once tried so hard to chase. Manifesting in real life, from dream jobs to soulmate connections. So how does this actually work in everyday life? Let's say you're longing for your dream job. Naturally, you prepare, you refine your resume, update your portfolio, and schedule interviews. But Stoic-inspired manifestation goes a step deeper. Instead of focusing solely on external actions, ask yourself, what would it feel like if I already had the job? Visualize it. Feel the energy of waking up with purpose each morning. Imagine the fulfillment of contributing meaningfully. Picture yourself walking into the office or your dream creative space with calm confidence and inner joy. When you embody the emotional state of already having what you seek, you become a magnet for aligned opportunities. Your energy changes, and the world around you responds. Now let's talk about relationships. If you're hoping to attract a loving, committed partner, the natural impulse might be to dive into dating apps, social events, or seeking advice from friends. But again, the Stoic lens invites a different approach. Rather than chasing love, cultivate the feeling of already being loved. Feel the warmth of emotional safety. Feel the connection, the deep understanding, the joyful companionship. Let your heart soften and expand with gratitude for love, even before it arrives. Because when you carry the energy of love within you, you attract people who resonate with that energy. You don't have to chase it. It finds you. The science and philosophy behind attraction. Now you might be thinking, is this just spiritual fluff? Actually, no. This philosophy is supported by both ancient wisdom and cutting-edge science. Let's start with the science. Modern physics, particularly quantum theory, tells us that everything in the universe is composed of energy, constantly vibrating at different frequencies. That includes your thoughts, your emotions, your intentions. When you focus on positive emotions, gratitude, joy, peace, love, you elevate your vibration. And according to the law of resonance, you begin to attract experiences in people that match that frequency. It's not magic, it's physics. Now let's turn back to the Stoics. They didn't use words like vibration, but they deeply believed in universal order. To them, the cosmos operated according to rational, harmonious laws, and to live well was to align yourself with those laws. They taught that your desires aren't random or disconnected from the world. Instead, they are woven into the fabric of the universe itself. And by tuning into your desires with clarity, trust, and virtue, you begin to move in harmony with the flow of life. When you stop fighting against the current and start flowing with it, you align desire with destiny. Oprah's wisdom, modern truths, ancient roots. Even in today's world, this principle echoes in the voices of some of the most inspiring modern thinkers. Oprah Winfrey, one of the most influential figures of our time, often says, "You don't become what you want, you become what you believe." It's a truth rooted in stoicism, in energy, and in lived experience. If deep down you believe you're unworthy, scattered, or not ready, you'll unconsciously repel what you claim to want. But if you believe truly in your core that you are capable, deserving, and aligned, then the universe begins to reflect that belief back to you. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust that the Stoic challenge, become what you seek. So here's your challenge. The next time you set a goal or dream of something big, don't just ask, what do I want to have? Ask, what kind of person would I be if I already had it? What would I feel, radiate, and believe? Then start being that person now. When your energy, actions, and mindset are in alignment with what you seek, the universe has no choice but to respond in kind. Power tips for effortless manifestation. Attracting what you want doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally pulls opportunities, connections, and abundance into your life without grasping, forcing, or stressing. Here are 7 powerful Stoic-inspired practices to help you move from effortful pursuit to graceful attraction. 1. Get crystal clear on what you truly desire. You can't attract what you can't define. So get specific. What kind of job lights you up? What qualities do you value in a partner? What kind of life would make you feel fulfilled, free, and alive? Clarity acts like a compass. It tells your subconscious, your energy, and the universe exactly where to aim. Write it down, speak it aloud. Paint the edges of your vision with bold colors and deep intention. 2. Visualize your desired reality. Visualization isn't daydreaming, it's energetic rehearsal. Close your eyes and picture your ideal life. What do you see, hear, feel? How do you move, speak, and think in that version of reality? Let your imagination immerse you in the experience. Let your brain and nervous system begin to believe that this version of life is already available to you. The more you feel it, the more you attract it. 3. Use daily affirmations. Words have power. When repeated with emotion and belief, they rewire your mind and elevate your frequency. Start each day with affirmations that anchor your vision. I am aligned with abundance. I attract opportunities effortlessly. I am worthy of the life I desire. Say them with conviction. Feel them as truths, not distant hopes. 4. Practice deep gratitude. Gratitude is the bridge between what you have and what you want. When you focus on the blessings already in your life, you send a clear message to the universe. I'm open to more. Take time each day to appreciate what's working, even the smallest details. A peaceful morning, a kind smile, a lesson learned. Gratitude shifts your energy from lack to abundance, and abundance attracts abundance. 5. Take inspired action. Manifestation without action is just fantasy, but action without inspiration is just noise. The key is inspired action, movement that feels aligned, purposeful, and joyful. Send that email, apply for that job, reach out to that person, but do it not from fear or pressure. Do it because it feels like the right next step in your soul's journey. When you act with trust and clarity, the universe meets you halfway. 6. Release the need for control. This is where most people struggle. Let go of rigid timelines. Let go of needing it to happen your way right now. The more you obsess, the more you resist. When you release control, you send a message of faith. You trust that the universe is working behind the scenes in ways you can't always see. And more often than not, it delivers something even better than you imagine. 7. Embrace the journey. Manifestation isn't a one-time event. It's a lifetime mindset. Celebrate the small wins. Learn from the detours. Keep showing up with a curious heart and a resilient spirit. The Stoics taught that the journey is the reward. And when you fall in love with the process, your energy becomes magnetic. That's when the universe begins to let go of the chase and open to receive. Remember, attracting what you desire isn't about tricking the universe or manipulating outcomes. It's about becoming a natural match for what you seek, energetically, emotionally, spiritually. So release the chase, stop grasping, and instead step into the energy of receptivity. When you do, you'll be amazed at how quickly doors open, people show up, and ideas land at your feet, seemingly out of nowhere. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And if this message resonated with you, comment below with "keep it up" and share it with someone who needs this wisdom. Thank you so much for your presence and support. Lesson 3. You will be uplifted at every turn, embracing the Stoic path of alignment. All right, my fellow cosmic travelers. In the next lesson, we'll explore a Stoic truth that can transform your mindset and your momentum. The idea that when you align with the flow of nature, life begins to lift you, often in ways you never expected. Let's dive in. Seeing obstacles differently, a Stoic shift in perspective. This isn't about toxic positivity. It's not about pretending everything is fine or ignoring real challenges. Instead, it's about shifting the lens through which you view adversity. Rather than asking, "Why is this happening to me?" the Stoic mindset invites you to ask, "How is this happening for me?" It's about believing, not blindly, but wisely, that the universe is not working against you, but conspiring in your favor. The Stoic principle of amor fati, love your fate. The Stoics had a powerful phrase for this philosophy, amor fati, Latin for love your fate. Now, this doesn't mean you passively accept misfortune or give up your power to act. Far from it. What it does mean is this: you welcome every experience, both joyful and painful, as a necessary part of your journey. You embrace life not only when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. The Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Let that sink in. Every obstacle isn't just something to overcome. It's the very thing that shapes you. It becomes your teacher, your guide, your fuel for forward motion. Real-world upliftment, turning setbacks into stepping stones. Let's say you've just lost your job unexpectedly. In the moment, it's crushing. The fear, the self-doubt, the sense that life is against you. It all hits hard. But with a Stoic perspective, you can ask, what if this isn't a door closing, but a redirection? Maybe this is your moment to launch that business idea you've buried. Maybe it's time to switch careers and follow your true passion. Or maybe it's simply a chance to pause, reflect, and reconnect with yourself before leaping into something new. And it doesn't stop at career. A difficult breakup can teach you about your boundaries, your worth, and what you truly need in a relationship. A health scare can become the spark that leads you to adopt healthier. The core idea, what feels like a breakdown, could be the beginning of your breakthrough. Modern Stoicism meets quantum physics. It's not just philosophy. You might be thinking, this sounds inspiring, but is it grounded in anything real? Yes. Science is catching up to what the Stoics intuited centuries ago. Quantum physics shows us that everything in the universe is made of vibrating energy, including our thoughts and emotions. Each one carries a frequency. When we dwell in fear, bitterness, or hopelessness, we lower our frequency and naturally attract more of the same. But when we shift into gratitude, acceptance, courage, even in hard times, our energetic field changes. We begin to resonate at a higher frequency, opening ourselves to better experiences, clearer opportunities, and surprising support. Dr. Bruce Lipton, on the Power of Perception cell biologist and best-selling author, Dr. Bruce Lipton, puts it this way: The moment you change your perception is the moment you rewrite the chemistry of your body. Translation: your mindset doesn't just affect your mood, it literally transforms your biology. When you see an obstacle differently, your brain, your body, and your energy system all respond in kind. This is why Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about reconditioning your inner world so that even your challenges become catalysts for growth. Embrace the flow. Let challenges elevate you. So here's your takeaway. Don't resist the storm. Learn to sail through it. The Stoics didn't promise a life free from hardship. They offered something even more powerful: the tools to turn hardship into wisdom and setbacks into strength. When you stop fighting what is and start aligning with it, you rise. You become stronger, wiser, and ultimately more free. Building your upliftment mindset. Tips for embracing the flow. So how do you begin to live from a place of trust, optimism, and inner strength? How do you shift from reacting in fear to rising with faith? Here are 6 powerful, Stoic-inspired tips to help you embrace the flow of life and meet every challenge with clarity, growth, and grace. 1. Reframe challenges. What if every obstacle is actually a message? When you encounter resistance, whether it's a failed plan, a difficult conversation, or a personal setback, pause and ask yourself, what is this here to teach me? Instead of labeling it a failure, see it as a redirection, a tool for self-discovery, or a hidden invitation to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. Every challenge contains within it the seed of transformation, if you are willing to look for it. 2. Practice daily gratitude. Gratitude is not about denying hardship. It's about refusing to let hardship be the whole story. Even in your most difficult seasons, there is always something to appreciate: a kind word, a breath of fresh air, a small moment of peace. When you train your mind to focus on the good, even just a little, you begin to shift your entire vibration, and over time, that mindset draws more goodness into your life. 3. Trust the universe's timing. You may not understand why something is happening now. You may feel like things are falling apart. But what if they're actually falling into place? Trust doesn't mean blind faith. It means choosing peace over panic, even when the path ahead isn't clear. Remind yourself, just because I can't see the full picture doesn't mean the picture isn't forming. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if you can't yet see the reason. 4. Embrace change as your ally. Change is inevitable, but suffering through change is optional. When you resist change, you create tension. When you embrace it, you tap into momentum. Be open to the unexpected. Try new paths. Say yes to growth, even when it's uncomfortable. Remember, every version of your highest self exists on the other side of change. 5. Cultivate resilience through practice. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's built. One challenge, one bounce back, one conscious choice at a time. When life knocks you down, resilience whispers, "Get back up." When plans fall through, resilience asks, "What's next?" The Stoics knew that true strength lies not in avoiding pain, but in becoming unshakable within it. 6. Connect with your purpose. When you know why you're here, what happens to you becomes easier to navigate. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you. What values define you? What lights you up? What kind of impact do you want to have? When your actions align with your deeper purpose, a Stoic reminder: it's not about perfection. Being uplifted at every turn doesn't mean pretending everything is great. It doesn't mean faking a smile or ignoring pain. It means choosing to see the opportunity in the struggle, to trust in the bigger plan, and to stay open to the magic that often hides in life's messiest moments. So go forth and embrace the Stoic path of alignment. Walk with faith, act with integrity, and trust that you are always being guided, gently, silently, toward your highest good. When you live from that place, the universe will unfold in ways you couldn't have planned, but will be grateful for forever. Lesson 4. Where do your desires come from? A Stoic exploration of inner yearnings. Hey there, fellow seekers. In our next lesson, we're diving into a question that lives at the heart of every human life. Where do our desires come from? Are they fleeting impulses, or do they reveal something deeper? This isn't just about craving success or love. It's about understanding the source of our longings and learning how to work with them rather than be ruled by them. Let's explore what the Stoics had to say about desire, not as something to suppress, but as a powerful force to understand and direct. The ancient Stoics were deeply aware of the power of desire, not just as a motivator, but as a potential source of suffering. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher and Roman statesman, once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." It's a powerful statement, one that hits hard even in our modern age of abundance. What Seneca meant was simple. Poverty isn't just about lacking things. It's about never being satisfied, about being caught in a cycle of endless wanting. When our desires go unchecked, when we cling too tightly or chase blindly, we become prisoners of our own longing. But here's the nuance. The Stoics didn't see desire as inherently bad. They understood that desire, when guided by wisdom, can become a powerful fuel for growth, purpose, and transformation. Desire as fuel, but with mindful intention. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, echoed this beautifully when he wrote, "Our actions may be impeded, but there can be no impeding our intentions or our disposition, because we can accommodate and adapt. The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting." In other words, we may not always get what we want, but we can always shape our mindset, our reactions, and our direction. And our desires, if we're mindful, can be transformed into intentional, purposeful action. The key lies in awareness. Why do you want what you want? Is it coming from fear, ego, or pressure? Or is it rooted in alignment, love, and purpose? When desire becomes conscious, it becomes empowering. When it's unconscious, it becomes enslaving. Nature versus nurture. Where do desires originate? So where do these desires actually come from? Are they hardwired into us from birth? Are they shaped by our environment or something even deeper? This age-old debate, nature versus nurture, has fascinated both philosophers and scientists for centuries. On one hand, some argue that our desires are biological, rooted in survival, reproduction, and basic human needs. These include food, safety, companionship, and pleasure. On the other hand, others believe our desires are shaped by our environment, our upbringing, our culture, and the society we live in. We're constantly exposed to messages about what we should want: money, status, the perfect body, the latest trend. But here's the twist. More and more thinkers suggest that our desires may stem from something deeper. Carl Jung and the collective unconscious. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist and founder of analytical psychology, believed that beneath our individual minds lies something vast and ancient, a shared psychic inheritance. He called it the collective unconscious, a universal well of symbols, archetypes, and patterns that shape our thoughts, behaviors, and yes, our desires. According to Jung, some of our yearnings might not be ours in a personal sense. They may be part of a deeper human calling, an inner pull that reflects our soul's journey, not just our ego's wish list. Real-world desires, from career goals to soul callings. In the real world, our desires show up in countless ways, some practical, some profound. You might desire a fulfilling career where you feel creative and valued. You may yearn for a deep, loving relationship, a safe space for intimacy, trust, and growth. Maybe you crave financial stability or vibrant health or a spiritual awakening that reconnects you with your higher self. Some desires feel surface level, like a luxury car or an exotic vacation. Others feel like they're rising from your core, like a whisper from your soul. The Stoics wouldn't shame either, but they'd ask you to pause and reflect. The Stoic approach: question your desires. Before you pursue something, ask yourself, where is this desire coming from? Is it driven by comparison or by purpose? Is it aligned with my values or just a reaction to someone else's expectations? Will it bring lasting fulfillment or temporary distraction? Desire can be a compass or it can be a trap. The Stoics teach us to listen to our longings, but also to examine them. That's where power begins. Happiness through discernment, choosing desires that uplift. Understanding the roots of your desires isn't just a philosophical exercise. It's a path to true happiness. When you become aware of why you want something, you gain the power to decide whether it actually deserves your energy. You begin making conscious choices, not based on impulse, ego, or outside pressure, but on clarity and self-awareness. That's where real freedom begins. The Stoic approach: aligning desires with virtue. The Stoics taught that the key to a fulfilling life is not the elimination of desire, but the alignment of desire with virtue. Virtue, in the Stoic sense, means living in accordance with reason, with nature, and with a deep commitment to the greater good. This means choosing desires that promote growth, strengthen character, deepen your relationships, and contribute positively to the world around you. At the same time, it means letting go of desires that are rooted in vanity, fueled by fear or insecurity, or based on distorted beliefs and unrealistic expectations. This isn't about becoming a monk or denying your human nature. It's about learning to channel your desires so that they lead to joy, not suffering. The Stoics didn't fear desire. They respected it because they knew its power, and they knew building your desire compass, navigating your inner world. So how do you make sense of your desires in a world full of distractions and noise? Here are 5 practical Stoic tips for navigating your inner landscape and aligning your desires with what truly matters. 1. Practice self-reflection. Set aside time regularly to ask yourself, what do I truly want? Is this desire coming from love or from lack? Does it energize me or drain me? By getting quiet and tuning in, you begin to notice the difference between a passing craving and a soul-level calling. 2. Examine your values. Desires are powerful, but without values, they can lead you astray. Ask, what kind of person do I want to become? What principles matter most to me? Honesty, compassion, courage, simplicity? Does this desire align with those values or compromise them? When you align your desires with your values, you create inner harmony. You move through life with integrity. 3. Challenge your assumptions. Not all desires are rational or even your own. Ask yourself, is this something I genuinely want or something I've been conditioned to want? Is this based on reality or fantasy? Sometimes we chase things because they look good on paper, not because they feel right in our hearts. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Practice mindfulness in the moment. Desire often arrives like a wave, Fast, strong, and overwhelming. When that happens, pause. Breathe. Notice the thoughts and emotions that come with it. Ask, is this feeling helping me? Is it leading me closer to peace or pulling me into anxiety and craving? With awareness, you can observe desire without being controlled by it. 5. Seek wisdom from the great thinkers. You don't have to navigate desire alone. Learn from those who've walked this path before you. The Stoics, like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus, left behind a treasure trove of insights on how to desire wisely. Let their words guide you. Read philosophy, reflect on teachings, absorb timeless truths, because the more you understand your inner world, the less the outer world can control you. Your desires are not your master, they're your guide. Here's the truth. Desires aren't meant to dominate you. They're meant to direct you. When you understand where they come from, question their purpose, and align them with virtue, you don't just chase dreams. You create meaning. You live with purpose. You become someone who doesn't just react to life, but shapes it. Lesson 5. Live within your imagination. The Stoic art of creative manifestation. All right, fellow dreamweavers. Up next, we're diving into a Stoic principle that's often overlooked in modern manifestation culture: the power of imagination. But this isn't just about daydreams or fantasies. It's about using the mind, your most creative force, to shape your emotional reality, your inner strength, and ultimately your future. Let's explore how the Stoics used imagination not to escape life, but to live it more intentionally and powerfully. The Stoics understood something that modern neuroscience is only beginning to confirm. Your perception shapes your reality. You don't just see the world, you interpret it. And how you interpret it defines how you... Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king of Rome, said it best. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. What does this mean? It means that you are not a passive observer of life. You are an active participant. Through the lens of perception, you get to choose how events affect you. And the most powerful lens you possess? Your imagination. The power of imagination, rewriting the story. You tell yourself. Your imagination isn't just a place for dreams or fantasies. It's a mental workshop, a creative lab, where your future begins to take form. When you visualize desired outcomes, when you rehearse success in your mind, you're not escaping reality. You're actually helping shape it. This doesn't mean denying what is. It means seeing what could be and aligning your mind, body, and energy with that vision. Imagine you want to start a business. Visualization isn't just daydreaming about success. It's rehearsing how it feels to serve happy clients, solve real problems, lead with purpose, and generate wealth through value. You're programming your subconscious, aligning your identity with your goals, and beginning to act from a place of confidence and clarity. Real-world imagination, from vision boards to life scripts. People around the world are using imagination not just as a tool for motivation, but for manifestation. Want to write a book? Picture yourself holding it in your hands. Want to live abroad? Visualize the streets, the language, the scent of the cafes. Want to find love? Feel the connection, the warmth, the joy of being seen and accepted. Even visionaries like Oprah Winfrey credit imagination as the starting point of transformation. She once said, "Create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life, because you become what you believe." This isn't a metaphor. It's a directive. Your vision becomes your life. Science catches up. Neuroplasticity and the quantum field. Here's the part that excites both skeptics and seekers. Modern science now backs up what ancient Stoics practiced intuitively. Through neuroplasticity, we know that the brain is not fixed. It's flexible. It reshapes itself in response to experience, thoughts, and yes, imagination. When you visualize something repeatedly with strong emotion, you begin to form new neural pathways. You begin to think, act, and even feel differently because your brain starts to believe the future you've shown it. And in the quantum realm, things get even more fascinating. Quantum physics suggests that all things, including our thoughts and intentions, are energy, constantly interacting with the quantum field, the invisible web connecting everything in existence. By focusing your mind and emotions on positive, intentional visions, you may actually influence this field, subtly but powerfully, drawing circumstances, people, and ideas into alignment with your energetic frequency. Building your imaginative muscle, tips for creative manifestation. So how can you start putting your imagination to work today? Here are 5 simple, powerful practices to strengthen your ability to create with intention. 1. Set aside time for visualization. Start small, just 5 to 10 minutes a day. Close your eyes and picture your desired outcomes as vividly as you can. Engage all your senses. See it, hear it, feel it. Let it become real in your inner world. 2. Create a vision board. Gather images, quotes, and objects that represent your goals. Place them somewhere you'll see daily. This isn't superstition, it's focus. It reminds your brain where you're headed. 3. Write a script for your life. Describe your ideal day, week, or year in detail, as if it's already happening. Write in the present tense. Make it rich and emotionally alive. This helps your subconscious mind take it more seriously and begin shaping your actions accordingly. 4. Affirm your desires. Use positive affirmations to reinforce belief in your ability to shape your reality. Examples. I am capable of achieving everything I envision. My imagination creates my reality. I am already living the life I once dreamed. Repeat them daily. Say them with emotion. Feel them as true. 5. Act as if. Carry yourself as if your goals are already manifesting. Speak from that place. Make decisions from that place. This isn't pretending. It's embodying the future you right now. The energy you emit attracts the experiences that match it. Final reminder. Your imagination is a creative force. Your imagination is not a toy. It's not a distraction. It's a tool, a sacred, powerful tool that can reshape not only your perception, but your entire life. Use it wisely. Use it daily. Use it with purpose. Because the person who lives within their imagination today. Lesson 6. Finding peace. Letting go and trusting the divine flow. Hey there, my peaceful warriors. In this lesson, we're diving into the heart of both Stoicism and the law of attraction. We're here to explore 2 powerful and deeply connected ideas: how to find true inner peace and how to release control so you can trust the abundant flow of the universe. This isn't about blind optimism or fluffy affirmations. It's about tuning your energy to a deeper frequency, one that isn't rooted in fear or force, but in trust, harmony, and surrender. The Stoic perspective, tranquility through acceptance. The ancient Stoics were obsessed with one thing: peace of mind. They lived in turbulent times: plagues, war, exile, political upheaval, and yet they sought to cultivate inner stillness in the midst of it all. How? Through acceptance, through focusing only on what they could control: their thoughts, their emotions, their actions. Everything else, other people's opinions, the weather, fortune, fate, they released. Seneca, One of the most revered Stoic philosophers and Roman statesmen said it best. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient, for he that is so wants nothing. It's a reminder that peace doesn't come from external achievements. It comes from within, from choosing presence over worry, gratitude over lack, and trust over fear. Letting go isn't giving up. It's leaning in now. Don't mistake this for passivity. Letting go doesn't mean giving up on your dreams. It means releasing the illusion that you need to control every step of how those dreams unfold. It's choosing to be fully present in the now while allowing the universe to work its mysterious magic in the background. You still show up. You still do the work, but you release the grip. You stop forcing, and in doing so, you make space for miracles. Real-world peace, from daily stress to soulful manifestation. Let's face it, in today's world, peace feels like a luxury. We're constantly in motion, chasing goals, comparing ourselves, grinding harder. And while ambition has its place, it can easily tip into anxiety and burnout. But what if the key to lasting abundance wasn't in the push, but in the pause? What if, instead of clinging to outcomes and timelines, you open your heart to divine timing? Imagine trusting that the perfect job will find you when you're ready, that the right relationship will appear when you're whole, that the money, the health, the clarity, it's all on its way if you simply allow it. Peace isn't something you earn, it's something you choose. And when you choose it, when you surrender control, you open the door to a life that's not just abundant, but effortlessly aligned. The divine flow. Trusting the universe's timing. There is a natural rhythm to life, a current that moves beneath everything. You don't have to paddle upstream. You don't have to fight the waves. You just have to listen, trust, and let go. This doesn't mean you won't face storms, but it means you'll ride them differently. You'll find calm even in chaos because you're no longer resisting what is. That's when the magic happens. That's when the things you've been chasing start flowing toward you. Trusting the divine flow. The present moment as your power source. One of the most empowering truths is this. You don't have to chase your dreams with clenched fists. You can receive them with open hands. To do that, you must live in the present moment and trust the divine rhythm of life itself. Modern spiritual teacher Deepak Chopra often speaks of this idea. He says, "The universe is a field of infinite possibilities, and we are co-creators of our reality." Let that sink in. You're not a passive observer. You are a participant, shaping your reality through the energy you carry and the choices you make. When you align with this field, when you let go of resistance and release the blocks that hold you back, you open yourself to limitless abundance. The power of surrender, letting go of mental roadblocks. Here's a truth most of us live with, yet rarely confront. We carry around invisible burdens, stories, beliefs, and doubts that quietly sabotage our growth. I'm not good enough. I'll fail anyway, so why try? Other people are lucky, not me. These aren't facts. They're mental noise, illusions we've repeated so often that they feel real. But what if these stories aren't truth? They're just habits. Imagine how much energy you'd free up if you dropped them. By recognizing and releasing these self-imposed limitations, you begin to shift your identity from someone who survives life to someone who creates it. You begin to trust that you are worthy of love, of wealth, of joy, of peace. And as that belief takes root, you start to receive what's always been yours. Building your inner sanctuary. Tips for peaceful manifestation. So how do you start? How do you release blocks, step into trust, and begin manifesting not with pressure, but with peace? Here are 8 powerful practices to help you build your inner sanctuary and unlock the flow of abundance. 1. Practice mindfulness. Be present. Pay close attention to your thoughts, emotions, and sensations. When you notice negativity or fear creeping in, gently return your awareness to this moment, here and now, where peace resides. 2. Embrace radical acceptance. You cannot control everything, and trying to do so only leads to exhaustion and stress. Acceptance is not resignation, it's liberation. It frees you to act where you can and let go where you must. 3. Cultivate gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance. Even small moments, a smile, a warm drink, a quiet evening, can anchor you in joy. The more you notice what's working, the more the universe brings you more to be grateful for. 4. Identify and release negative blocks. Get honest with yourself. What beliefs are holding you back? Are you secretly afraid of success? Do you believe you have to struggle to earn love? Challenge those beliefs with truth. Use affirmations, journaling, or therapy. Rewrite the script. 5. Connect with your inner self. In a noisy world, stillness is revolutionary. Make time for solitude through meditation, prayer, or journaling. Listen to your intuition. Let your inner wisdom be your compass. 6. Visualize with emotion. See it, feel it, live it. Create a vivid mental image of the life you want, your career, your relationships, your health, and more importantly, feel the emotions of already having it. This emotional energy is what magnetizes the dream into reality. 7. Take inspired action. Manifestation isn't magic, it's a collaboration. As you clear blocks and trust in life's flow, take steps aligned with your goals. Don't force, don't hustle, move with clarity and joy. 8. Surrender the outcome. Detach from how and when it will happen. Let go of rigid expectations. The more you try to control, the more you resist. But when you release attachment, you create space for the universe to surprise you in beautiful, unexpected ways. Peaceful manifestation is a practice, not a one-time fix. Finding inner peace, releasing limiting beliefs, trusting in divine timing. These are not boxes to check. They are ongoing practices, part of your lifelong spiritual and emotional growth. So be patient with yourself. Celebrate small progress. And above all, enjoy the unfolding. Because peace isn't found in perfection, it's found in presence. As we've seen, peace and surrender aren't weaknesses. They're portals to self-discovery and transformation. When you integrate these Stoic principles into your life, you begin to shift your energy in powerful ways. And when your energy changes, so does your reality. So let go of the struggle, my friends. Step into the peaceful rhythm of the universe. Lesson 7. Be happy, your wish is on its way. The Stoic approach to joyful manifestation. Hey there, joy seekers. In this final lesson, we're diving into one of the most underrated, yet most potent tools for manifestation, happiness itself. But let's be clear, this isn't about toxic positivity. It's not about plastering on a fake smile or pretending everything's fine when it isn't. It's about cultivating a real, grounded, and joyful state of being, even while life is still unfolding. It's about finding peace in the now, while trusting that everything you desire is moving toward you in divine timing. The Stoic connection: joy is a choice, not a reaction. Contrary to popular belief, the Stoics weren't cold or emotionless. They simply believed that true joy arises from within, not from the ever-changing conditions of the outside world. Seneca said, True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. This means that joy isn't something we chase after or wait for. It's a daily decision, a moment-by-moment invitation to anchor into gratitude, simplicity, and presence. You don't have to wait for everything to be perfect before you allow yourself to be happy. You just have to be willing to see the good, feel the light, and remember, joy is your natural state when fear falls away. Real-world joy, from everyday moments to big milestones. Joy isn't just found in grand achievements. It lives in small, ordinary moments. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of your favorite music, the smell of fresh coffee in the morning, the laughter of your child, that peaceful breath before bed. Even the feeling of accomplishment after finishing a tough task carries joy. These moments, though simple, are doorways into presence, and presence is where manifestation begins. As the Dalai Lama reminds us, happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. By choosing joy, especially in the now, you invite more of it into your future. The science of happiness, the advantage that changes everything. According to research in positive psychology, happiness isn't a result of success, it's a precursor to it. Sean Achor, author and happiness researcher, calls this the happiness advantage. He explains that when we're in a joyful state, we're more productive, more creative, more focused, more resilient. So when you choose joy, you're not just improving your mood, you're tuning your mind and body to attract more opportunities, connections, and breakthroughs. Happiness, it turns out, isn't the reward, it's the foundation. Building your joyful mindset. Tips for attracting your desires. Here's how to cultivate joy in your everyday life and use it as a magnet for your desires. 1. Practice gratitude daily. Take a few moments each day to reflect on the blessings in your life, big and small. You can write them down or say them aloud. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already here. 2. Be present with your emotions. When you catch yourself spiraling into worry or negativity, gently guide your attention back to the present. What's good right now? What can you appreciate in this moment? 3. Prioritize joyful activities. Make space for what lights you up, whether it's painting, walking in nature, cooking, dancing, or simply laughing with friends. Joy isn't selfish, it's nourishing fuel for your soul. 4. Surround yourself with positive energy. The people around you matter. Choose relationships that uplift you, inspire you, and remind you of your worth. Let go of the energy drainers. You're allowed to protect your peace. 5. Practice deep self-care. Joy flourishes when your well-being is prioritized. That includes sleep, nourishment, movement, stillness, and emotional care. When you treat yourself with love, the universe echoes it back. 6. Believe in your dreams. Even if no one else sees them yet, you must believe. Hold your vision close. Trust that the universe is arranging the pieces. Your faith is the bridge between now and what's coming. 7. Celebrate every win. No victory is too small. Finished a task you've been avoiding? Celebrate. Took a brave step toward your goal? Celebrate. Made it through a tough day with grace? Celebrate. Joy is not the destination, it's the way. Let this be your final reminder. Joy is not where you're going. It's how you get there. It's not reserved for when the dream manifests. It's the engine that drives manifestation. So let go of the timeline, release the pressure, and embrace the joy of now. Final thoughts. You're already aligned with your dreams. In this episode, we've journeyed through the depths of the Stoic path to manifestation. Letting go of the chase, tuning into desire without attachment, rewriting limiting beliefs, trusting divine timing, and now returning to joy. You are not separate from the love, abundance, or peace you seek. They are already within you, waiting for you to remember. So as you walk this path of conscious creation, be kind to yourself. Be gentle. Be grateful. Be joyful. Your dreams are not far away. They're waiting for you to align with who you truly are. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the Stoic law of attraction. May your journey be filled with clarity, courage, and connection. Keep shining your light, and remember, what belongs to you will simply find